All right, hello, I'm back. All right, today's the day, I think. Maybe we'll tackle these Kijimi voice cards. We'll see. First off, I'm still working on the MIDI to USB converters. Overnight, this was my first one I did, is after the first breadboard that was kind of successful, tested my 3D design, and then overnight, yesterday I streamed this one, and overnight I built a third one. What I'm held up on is the 3D printer. You might hear it in the background, or if you hear weird noises today. It's the 3D printer is running. Maybe I can cam that a bit. That'd be fun. But that's what I'm doing now. Is the hold up. I would have finished last night. The other board is half built. I'll show you in a second. But I've been running the 3D printer kind of nonstop. To finish this up, I'm going to do 4 of them. Actually, one of my optocouplers was faulty. That's what happened on the third one. I started testing and it wouldn't work, and I kept looking at all the connections thinking I missed the solder lead, and I didn't. And then finally I switched out the coupler with another one I had, and it worked. So there you go. So this is the fourth and final board. It's kind of half put together. I have all the pieces here for that. I'll finish that sometime today. Here, I'll quickly just show you I'll switch the cam over in a second, and I'll show you what the 3D printer is looking like. Hi. Okay, I just unplugged by accident my camera feed, so now I have to reconnect, I'm assuming. We'll see how this goes. When I moved it, the cable came out. So give me a second. We'll see if that's going to reconnect or what I have to do here. Hold on a second. Okay, let's switch over the SE2. Yeah, it did disconnect. Let me see if I can reconnect to the device now. Oh, there it went. It did reconnect. Okay, good. So that gives you an idea of what's going on there. I am just, 3D printing the boxes here that you can see on this monitor. I guess I'm on this one now. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing, is just 3D printing those guys. Hope to finish that project up completely today, if I can finish it up. I think that one, I don't know how many hours it has left, probably 2 or 3, and then the base plate will take 2 or 3 hours as well. It takes a long time, especially when you do a little thicker infills. That's kind of the space between the walls. When I fill it up with more plastic to make it stronger, because it's a box, it will take quite a lot longer to finish. Okay, so that's a bit of that. Here, let me come back here to the main cam. Okay. So today, while that's 3D printing, I'm going to go ahead and move the other cam back. Hold on a second. Hopefully I don't unplug everything this time. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful. Get this set up so when we're soldering, we have something going over here. Okay, let's get this cam set. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so that's ready to go. So today what I thought I would do, like I said, I think it's time to dive into the Kijimi voice card. So if I can here, I think what I'm going to do next... Oh, before I jump into the voice cards, what I'm going to show you is a little bit of the other project again. I'm going to go to, let's see, I think it's this one. Yeah, so here is, this is Fusion 360. And I thought it would be fun to kind of just open this project, and I don't want to take a survey, go away. And then this is the box that I made. And here I can kind of rotate this, but I designed this in Fusion 360. It has these kind of tabs under here where the screw mounts go for the bottom plate. And you can't see it in this view, but if you rotate around, if you could see inside the top of those 4 tabs, there is like a hex bolt shape, an octagonal depression in there where the bolts fit down in there, or the nuts, so they don't spin. So the nuts go in there, and I kind of draw them in with the screws, and then they won't spin around. And then there's the 4 LED holes and the DIN connector hole, and then this USB one. I did write on top here, you can see like the node on, node off, what each one of those does. But it was interesting when I also used an Adobe Illustrator file to put my logo on there. That was kind of fun. But when I printed these, only the logo and the big text came out. The 3D model obviously has the smaller text, but when I put it into the 3D printer software, I think that text is just way too small of resolution for it to handle. So the rendering when it created the G-code and stuff, it just completely erased those, which is fine. I don't really care. I know what they do. It would have been nice to have them kind of labeled, but it's okay. So that's one thing that was kind of strange. I guess if you get below a resolution point, it just won't print. I was kind of afraid that they would just come out all muddled, but it just kind of erased them from the rendering, which was interesting. So that was a bit of that. I could show you, like, if I turn off the bodies here, maybe I could turn on a sketch. Like this was the main sketch that I used to draw, like to draw everything out, and I kind of traced the breadboard out on here and everything, or not the breadboard, the proto board. But this is what I used to extrude out into the shapes. I used some calipers to measure everything first. That was one sketch. Oh, this was a sketch on the side for the DIN connector, so that's rotated onto the side. And then what was this sketch for? I think this is on the other side if I rotate around. Yeah, that was for the USB connector. And then this final sketch, I don't really know which. Oh, this was just on the top. This is all the text and my logo and things that I put on there in a separate sketch. And that's it. And then if I turn the bodies back on and go back to my home view, this is the final output. And then I also did a separate file for the bottom plate, and it's pretty simple. It's just, again, one sketch. You can kind of see it through there in blue, but it's just basically the holes for the screws and then a little bit of a bevel to fit up inside the box, and then the box size. And then I did do some chamfers on the holes on this side to account for the countersink of the screw heads. And that was basically it. And then you basically export these and send them to the 3D printer. All right, so that's a little bit of that. And then what else I thought it would be fun is maybe to show you this stuff. This is the code that I wrote, the firmware for the boxes. And so I'm using MIDI to basically that's interpreting the MIDI coming off the serial port over the DIN. And it's translating those MIDI signals from the serial DIN stuff, and then the MIDI USB library is taking that serial MIDI and converting it again, basically just taking the same messages in and then sending it out over MIDI USB, which I'm using an Arduino Pro micro chip computer. Microcontroller, and the reason I'm using that is because it will use MIDI. It can serve as a USB host, so it understands the MIDI USB and can send it out. I believe the Uno and others will not. Some other ones, so you would have to do some special libraries or some kind of custom firmware burning to make it do it and all this stuff. And it's just, I had a bunch of Pro micros around, so that's what I used. At any rate. This code is, the only tricky part was keeping track of the number of milliseconds to do the LEDs. The LEDs ended up being actually kind of the harder part for me. Just having those on and off LEDs for the notes rather than the actual MIDI code, which is weird. I guess I've done a lot of the MIDI code or it would have been hard. But at any rate, so there's just a few variables to declare, kind of global ones, and then there's some stuff in the setup to kind of set up the functions for the MIDI handles and things. And then in the loop, really, it's just continually looking for stuff coming in on serial and then keeping track of those LED on and off states with the milliseconds, like how many times have passed. Because what you'd have to do is desync it from the loop. So it's basically then counting the milliseconds and it's over or under a certain amount of time, it will either keep the LED on or off. And that's all it's doing. It gets a little bit tricky, but it's really nothing major. And then these are the different functions. Like if a note's turned on, what's it do? It's just basically creating a MIDI packet event and sending that over USB MIDI. So basically, it's just when the MIDI read gets some notes on, it just basically resends those notes over USB MIDI. Same for off. I have a function for that, and then there is one for the MIDI control changes, and also pitch bending. Pitch bend, it was a little weird. I am having a little weirdness in the pitch bend. I don't know why. Like usually, it's either it'll work really well one way, but not the other. Meaning, if I pitch bend up, and this is per device. Like if I change the keyboard, even if it's the same keyboard. So I'm not sure if it's my keyboard's causing this, or my code, or both. But sometimes when I pitch bend up, it'll perfectly pitch from the note I'm at up. But when I pitch down, it sounds like it goes higher and then goes down. It's like weird, like it changes the note. So that's something I have to look into. And it's this code here is what does it. It's this this stuff, and it's doing this, doing the 7. It's doing shift. I can't remember what this is exactly. Bit shifting or something. I'm always cloudy on this stuff when it gets into like this hex code and bit shifting and all this stuff. It's really confusing to me. It gets into the binary stuff and all that. So I'm not exactly. I found this code online. Thank God. I didn't write this. But I'm not sure if this. I found this in several places, and other people seem to say it's working. And it does kind of work for me, so I'm assuming this is correct. I did do some experiments and Googling around and tried stuff that didn't really change much. So I believe this is right, but I'm not 100% sure. And then this was the other tricky bit. I found some info online about, this is how I'm doing the fades of the LEDs when the control changes happen. And same thing for the fading of the LEDs when the pitch bend happens. So there you go. Pitch bends, control change, and just note on and off. That's all this code's doing. And it's basically taking the serial MIDI data and then converting it to the MIDI USB and sending it out over the USB to the computer so software devices can, play the notes. Seems to be working up really well. If anyone wants this, let me know. I can, I will post this all on GitHub eventually, and we can go from there. I can share the link or something. All right. I have this up. I was running the hot air station at 400 Fahrenheit and around that 390 something, which was 200 Celsius. And that was working, but it was taking quite a long time to melt, I've noticed. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I'm debating about jumping from 200 to 230 Celsius, which would mean it would be 446 Fahrenheit. I think I'm going to try that today. And if I notice like smoke on the boards or it seems just too hot, maybe I'll back off. But I think, jumping that 40, 50 degrees range, I think it might help it melt a little faster, which would mean ultimately we'd have heat on it for a less amount of time. So I think that's good. It's still within the kind of temperature ranges of the sheets. I think they go up to 270 Celsius. So I think I'm okay. I'm going to try the 230 and see how that goes today. I probably should have tried this before the main boards, but I think it'll be fine. I don't think it's a huge shift. So I will do that. Okay. So that said, I guess that's it for the MIDI USB project. And, we can jump into the voice card. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to switch camera views as I normally do and turn on the other mic here, and we will come back to the main cam. It's over there. And let's jump over to the other station and start working there. All right, I kind of rolled over here now, and we can begin over here. So I did start preparing all this stuff a little bit today. I have the ICs for the 8 voices. I ended up buying, I think, 2 extra. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I bought 2 extra. 4, 8. Yeah, I bought 2 extra just in case I mess up really badly. Hopefully I won't need them. And then I have all the capacitors ready for Surface Mount. I think there's 38 on each side. So I think my goal today is I'm going to lay out, I'm going to put the solder paste on the whole board, tweezer in all 38 capacitors and the IC, add flux to the IC, not the capacitors, and then I'm going to try to hot air this in at 230 Celsius. If it seems too hot, I'll back it back down to maybe 220 and then to 200 if I need to, but hopefully that's okay. I also found some PEC pads in a digital camera bag that I had for cleaning sensors and things. So I have some of these around, and so I can ditch the paper towel during cleanups. And now I'll have some lint-free pads to kind of clean up the boards with as I go there. And I do have these kind of bristle toothbrush things that I bought online somewhere to clean up boards as well. So I think that's it. That said, let's jump into this. I think what I will do is first give the board with a new swab. I'm going to just clean off all the pads with alcohol to start and go that route. And then we'll see how it goes from there. Let's get a little alcohol off here. And I'm just going to quickly rub off all these pads. Hopefully if there's any kind of gunk or anything on there, or a little dust. I'm probably just spreading it around, but hopefully this will help clean it up even just a little bit. Get us ready to go here. I'm a little nervous to do this, but actually after doing the other surface mounts so far, it doesn't seem too bad. So I'm pretty confident now. The other ones went pretty smoothly, had some bridges, but with the microscope and everything, it's much easier to clean up now. So I'm actually not too worried anymore about this. It doesn't seem very daunting because of all the tools. Maybe my opinion will change after I start this today. Who knows? Hopefully not. Okay, board's cleaned up. I guess now it would be, it's going to be paste time. So I did notice, hopefully this stuff isn't drying out. I just kind of stuck caps on there, and hopefully that's enough to kind of keep it going. I am going to, I think, squirt a little of the solder paste out this time on the edge of this, and just kind of clean it off this time. Yeah, there, and get like the hard stuff out of the edge. Maybe I'll do that with the flux as well. Yeah. Okay, there. Just to kind of prime those a little better. Okay, and then we need 38 of these capacitors. So I am going to go ahead. Maybe I'll count those off and cut these off. Count them out, cut them off. And then we'll go from there. So here, let's do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, 22, 24, 30, I think that's 38. Your eyes kind of go cross-eyed doing this stuff, but hopefully I got that right, and I didn't cut the other one. I don't know if SynthCube gave me exactly 38 or not, but we'll soon find out. I do have 3 or 4 extras from the other boards that they did have a few extras in there. So hopefully that will work. Okay, I'm going to put these aside though before I crack all these out and lose them all. And what am I going to do? I am going to put down the paste, and then I'm going to tweezer everything in. So I guess I'll put down the IC paste and then go over each capacitor and go that route. So I think what we'll do is we will switch over to the microscope view now. Let's go this one. Okay, great. And I'm going to scooch this over until we find our IC. Push this back a bit, it's getting in the way. Okay, there's our IC. Okay, let's look through. Not bad. Our focal distance, this is good for, I think, doing this, but when I solder, I might want to get closer, I think. Trying to figure out what's the best focus for you guys. I think right there looks pretty good from across the room. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay down the solder paste. I think it's going to be easier to lay this down vertically, so I think I'm going to go for that. See if I can get this in view for you. Yeah, I can. At least it looks, yeah, you're still in. Okay, good. So this is going to be easier for me to lay this down. A little worried about that one pin right there. There, I kind of squished that around. Hopefully I'm not getting too much of this stuff everywhere. It's really difficult. I think that's what caused my bridges last time, when I would get a little too much. But whatever, it'll work out in the end. Okay, let's go ahead and lay this guy down. Well, I think I need to go more vertical, but it's really tough in the viewfinder. Okay, there. I think that's okay. Okay, that looks good. Boy, it's going to be really tricky to make sure I'm hitting all of these. Some of these may be out of your field of view. If they are, I'll be back on in a second. I'm not going to adjust this so you have to see every one if it's out. Well, I have to say, I really enjoy the hot air surface mount process, like a lot. I can see if you got this really down, how you would want to kind of convert to doing this permanently. You know, like not do any more non-surface mount stuff. I'm trying to do this kind of evenly down the board. Hopefully I don't miss any, because I am putting my hands on the board everywhere. Okay. My solder. Oh, my solder met a little resistance there. I'm not sure what happened. Okay. I really don't want to miss any of these and have to do holding my hand up in the air to do this, so I got to be kind of careful. You guys still able to see? Yeah, you guys will be able to see this great. I don't know what's different, but at this focal length, however I have it today, it's much more closer to like 1-to-1 or something, you know, like what I'm seeing is, I mean, you're still seeing less on your end through the camera, but you're seeing a lot more than last time. Okay, here I'm going to move this back a little more. There are more here in the middle. Really trying to make sure I don't miss any. Well, you're able to see most of those. All 4 now. I have ditched the headphones. It is super useful. I mean, not useful. It's a lot more comfortable in every way for me. I can't hear chat, anything beeping or anything, but it is just so much. I get hot with the headphones on, and it's just really uncomfortable trying to wear like the visor and all that kind of stuff with headphones on as well. Here, I'm trying to double check and make sure I've got every point. I don't want to miss any on and have to go back. There we go. Hopefully, the tweezering these in place part won't be too difficult. Hopefully I'm using enough solder. I don't want to use too much, but I also don't want to use too little and get bridges. And since I'm new at this, it's really difficult to know what's what. I mean, I have done quite a lot of soldering, so I know the basics, but I mean, more than the basics. I mean, you know, I have a good handle on it. But the whole surface mount thing's kind of a new world. I mean, I did watch tons of videos, but watching videos is not always the same as doing it, right? Alright, those look good. I think maybe I'll do these ones in the middle and work outward. That's one. Okay, and then maybe I'll do these ones on the edge here. Finish off this left side. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see it. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, there's these ones in the middle. I think what I'm going to do is work from this side in again. Tried to push that one. It looked like it was just a little bit close to the center. That one looked a bit anemic in terms of how much solder I used, but I'm reluctant to keep going back and touching it, and I'm also reluctant to put too much, because I know that's definitely going to be the recipe for bridging. So I'm trying to use as little as I can get away with. Okay, these ones are quite close to the edge here. Okay, good. I did that. I think that's it. I think what I'm going to do though now is count my solder points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 37, 30. Yeah, I have 38 that I counted. And I'm trying to just double check now that all 38 of those have solder. And I believe they do. So I am going to come back to the IC now and put a little flux beside it. Probably should have done this before I soldered all the others, because now I have to like straddle my fingers so I don't touch anything. Okay. Okay, there. Good. So I've applied a little solder paste and a little flux, and those are looking good. So now I think we're going to go ahead and tweezer all these guys in place. Okay, so let's do that. Maybe I'll try this one. Okay, so first off, let's take our IC and get that guy in place. I think a couple of the ICs that I was sent have bent pins, which I'm kind of dreading. Okay, trying to make sure I see where the top is. I don't want to place this and have the orientation incorrect. I'm going to just kind of look at this first. Yeah, this is one with a bent foot. Okay, so now I need to try to correct that. Oh boy. So I think what I'm going to do is move this out of the way. Can I do this with just the head loop? I think I can. Man, these are so sensitive. I don't want to bend them too far. I don't want to break it. The head loop worked pretty well. I do have it the right orientation. I think I'm okay to place this guy. You guys can see it now. I think I'm going to try this. Oh boy. Super hard. I'm going to try to like sit, stand. Not hit any of my other solder points, which I might have on the one point. I'm not sure. Shoot. Man. I'm like Mr. Jitters. Okay, not bad. Ay, ay, ay. I think I'm going to call that good. It'll come into place. I had tea before this. Some black tea. That was probably not the smartest move in retrospect. Okay, so here we go. See something here? Okay, I'm going to try to peel back the plastic on here to get these capacitors out. And I think the prudent thing might be to go like, you know, I don't know, 5 at a time, we'll say. Wow, those are super hard to see. Okay, I think I'm gonna... Ah! I dropped it right into the flux. Okay, so let's try to clean that guy up. Not that the flux will hurt it. Boy, this is going to be hard to place. Maybe I should have done my paste one at a time to do this. So I had places to put my hands. Maybe that's retrospect for, for the next card. I'm going to try to get this thing. Okay. Oh boy, I'm having this problem again. I think they're magnetized. Boy. Maybe I can try another tweezer that's not magnetized or something. It's really hard for me to tell whether it's the tweezer. Yeah, maybe I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with this. If they're all wanting to stick like that, that's really a problem. Okay, let's get back over here. Okay, I think that's good enough. I don't know how, I dropped it again. I think it stayed on the surface, yeah. He's over here. I think he just indicated to me where he wants to live. Okay, there. I'm being a bit, cautious and all, that I know that a lot of these, it's kind of okay wherever even if they're a little crooked, I think, because they will pull into place when the solder melts, but there, like that one, I'm not sure if I may have bridged it by squishing it around. Also, I would like to know from others out there. Oh, I did touch the paste over here. I thought I did. Hopefully there's enough on there. I might give that one a little bit more paste, just in case. Hopefully that's okay. I would like to know how others, what was my question? It was dealing with something. I'm not sure what I was going to say now. It'll come back to me. Okay, there we go. And was that 5? I had 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one in the middle. 5, yeah. I think I'm going to just stick to 5s and go that route. Okay, I guess we'll do this one. It seems like somehow rotating the board is a bit helpful. I don't know if you guys can see these. Yeah, I think you can see this one at least. It seems that whatever, well, I hope those problems solve themselves when I squish that around. If it's a little too much, and it is bridging, I hope that the solder, when it heats, that it's gonna pull that back. Like that one I kind of got sideways. Hopefully that's... What I was going to say is whatever magnetism I seem to be having on the tips, it seems to dissipate as soon as it hits the board. Okay, looks pretty good. Guess I'll do these two over here. That was another 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm going to keep going in this direction because I'm already there. Okay, those are looking good. I think I'll do the 2 right next to it that are vertical. Okay, good. Just having that one finger to be able to kind of teeter there is very, very helpful. Okay, we got 2 vertical ones here. Do these. I have 1 left in this batch. sideways. Aye, aye, aye. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. Okay, 5 more. 3, 4, and 5. Well, that was a mess. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully, some of these I don't know if I'm bridging them with the paste. That's going to be tricky. Hopefully, the melting action will kind of take out any of that. Hopefully, they'll draw back to the pads. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. If anyone out there know, how do you test these guys for continuity? Like, how do I, after I solder these, is there an easy way to test each of the capacitors to make sure that they aren't bridging anywhere? That's what I really would like to know. Because I'm thinking that it would be very prudent to go through all of these connections after this before I just kind of plod on through all of this and test these capacitor connections. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I haven't done. Okay, we'll call that good. Really helps to have a, you need at least at least for me, I need one finger on the board for steadying. Okay, little crooked, I'm going to call that good. I think it'll pull into place. So are there any I'm missing on this edge? This is looking pretty good to me so far. I'm at least at like a halfway point. Maybe I'll go down this middle here, these 3. I'll try these middle 2 now. The last 2. Trying to be really careful not to also stick the finger that I'm using as my steady guide into the solder of or move another capacitor. Okay, good. I think I'm going to jump back to this one now and go different angle for the next one. You guys are still seeing those? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Okay, boy, that one was challenging. Okay, do we have another vertical here? Yeah, we have these. Okay, one in there. And this one beside it. Okay, I think you guys are able to see these at home. And move this up. See a little fuzz on there. Try to get that off. Okay, one more left in this batch of 5. And then we'll see where we're at. I'm going to go vertical for this one here. Okay, there, good. And now we did these two in the middle, right? No, we didn't do these two vertical ones. So we'll start here. Another batch. I think I'm going to go the rest. Whatever this is. Maybe 8 or so. Okay, great. Oh my God, this is super tedious work. I wish my focal length was a little different on here, so I didn't have to stand like this. That would make things a little... Oh, shoot, I dropped it somewhere. Actually didn't see where I dropped it this time, so hopefully it's on the board. I could have swore I heard it hit the board, but I'm not sure. Well, that kind of sucks. Oh, there it is. Great. At least I found it. It did stay living on the board. I dropped it again, but I heard it stay on the board, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I see it even on the scope here. Okay. Oh, these tweezers are a little bit squirrely. Okay, whew, finally that found a home. One more on this top side. Okay, good. I wish I wasn't such a caffeine monster because it does make this a lot more challenging. All jazzed up on tea and coffee doesn't really mix with being a circuit board builder person. Okay, oh boy. I'm kind of finessing the solder paste back onto its own pad there. Whew, I think that's okay. do this one over here. I think I missed one where I was just at. I don't really know. I don't remember. Just kind of doing it now. I'm going to go ahead and finish off this one. Okay, good. I think there's just one more where I was at over here somewhere. Yeah. Whew! Okay, there we go. I am gonna do another check here before I go with this, but from what I can tell, we have placed all the 38, and I think they're okay. I'm gonna kind of just look over these, make sure I didn't bump anything. That looks good. Okay, those are looking good. Everything's looking pretty good so far. Okay, those are all okay. Okay. That one's a little messy up there. Maybe I should try to either clean or finesse that solder back into position. I'm a little worried about that one. It does look like there's paste on there, but I think I'm going to try to move that over. That might be a mistake, but we're going to try. That one looks a little close by the IC where I could have bridged it. Not sure. Hopefully it'll draw back. There. I think the rest of these are looking okay. We're going to call those good. The IC still looks good. It looks aligned. Okay. I think it's just this one. I'm going to try and finesse this a bit. Let's see if this is okay. This is very pointy. Okay, I'm going to just leave that. Whatever else is there is there. I think there's enough solder on there to catch it. And okay, so are we ready to do this? I think we are. I think I'm going to go for these first three with the IC first. And then, but that said, we are not going to stop to fix bridges or anything. We're going to just solder it all, and then once it's soldered, we'll come back to do touch-ups. So I'm going to turn on my fan. It'll get a little loud for you maybe. And now I'm going to turn on my thing here. Wow, I think it's set really high. Oh yeah, it's at 479 or something. Well, I can't remember what this is set at. Is this Celsius or Fahrenheit? I think this has to be Celsius. So we'll set this down to, we're going to say 230, I think. 230, I think, is what we were aiming for. We'll try it there and then see what we need to do. I still have it on, it's 230. I believe this is set to Celsius. I hope so. And the blower is still set to 4, which seems to have been okay. So we're going to go for this, and hopefully we'll have some good luck. We'll let this heat up, come to temperature, and if you can see it, it is starting to heat up here. Still the readout. Okay, now it says this is at 230, so we're gonna go for this. Boy, this doesn't feel like 200, like 400 degrees. Now I'm wondering if this thing is actually reading out in Fahrenheit. I think it is. So now maybe we need to go to, because that does not seem that hot. Okay, so let's go to 430 on the display. Is that correct? 430 on the display? Let's try that. Okay, so now I'm at 430 Fahrenheit. We'll try that. Because that, just on my hand, like it wasn't even burning my hand. Now it's getting hot. Yeah. I think this is 430 now. It says it is. Feels like it. Well, the solder definitely bridged on this lower cap. I can see it. It just looks like a puddle. Hopefully, when they melt, it's going to pull it back into place. I see the top one going. The IC looks great. I think it may have just done it with no problems at all. Maybe I should be using flux on the capacitors. I'm not sure about that. And it may not hurt. We'll see how this goes in the long run here. After this first board, I guess. We'll know. Or maybe I'll start adding it as we go here. Okay, that seems to be going rather quickly. Okay, there we go. They're coming back into position. I see the blower is blowing it around a bit, which is worrying me. Okay, there, I kind of hit the board and it... Ooh, I hit one of the capacitors off axis. I'm going to have to fix that. Okay, I do have to fix this capacitor. I definitely knocked this one below off. Okay, where are my tweezers? It's quite hot. I'm trying to place my finger without scorching it off there. Okay, there, kind of got that in position. I want to, before I go further here, I'm trying to figure out if I'm bridging. It's super hard to tell from this angle. Boy, I really need to sit into this. It's super stressful, like standing the whole time. I don't know, that doesn't look too promising to me. See a lot of like little solder balls and like going up this direction. It's super hard to tell. Maybe it's not. I mean, that actually looks okay. I do see a, I don't know if anyone can see that on your side, but it actually looks okay here. On this one anyway, I see a solder ball sitting there, but I think that, you know, some cleaning with alcohol and such will take that out. Here, let me try to get focus right for you guys. I see the polarizer is quite on the dark side for you. Can I get that brighter? I don't think I can on your side. On my side, it's quite a bit brighter, and I see a little ball there, but it's not bridging anything. I think when I clean those off, that would be quite good. I do see some looking good sonic sandcastles. If you're still here, great. Yeah, thanks. I'm excited. This is an exciting time. No, it isn't a different one. I have the focal length a little different today, Jimmy. And I think it's working better. And I'm also fooling with the focus a little bit. And the lighting, too. Yeah, I guess my thing with the continuity test between the two pads is, if it's soldered correctly, I'll get continuity, but if it was bridged, I would also get continuity, wouldn't I? So that's where I'm kind of confused. So I feel like if I do the continuity test, if it's bridged, it's going to be continuity, and if it's going through the capacitor, it'll be continuity. I don't know. And so I don't know if that's an accurate test or not. If you have a way to get around that. Yeah, okay, yeah. So you're thinking the same thing, because that's what I thought at first too, but I think it may be problematic. Yeah. Sonic Sandcastles, if you're still here, I'd love to know how you found me, or what your interest is in being here. Oh, wow. So the IC looks really good so far. I don't see any bridges yet there. Try not to touch any of the other solders. I'm going to come back and kind of go overhead here and back this off a little bit. There we go. Here, let's look at these. Oh, those look great. I'm actually not seeing anything at all there. Here, the polarizer, I'm changing that up. There's try to get some of the glare out. But those look really good. I don't think there's any bridges there. And if I switch over here, yeah, those are looking great too. It is definitely different through I think pin, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Those are bridging. I can see it right there. 4, maybe between pin 5 might be bridging to something, but definitely 6, 7, 8, and 9 are bridged. So I definitely see a bridge between 8 and 9 on my side. Maybe I can change the thing there. You can kind of see it a little better on that angle. Yeah, so it's definitely bridging there. I think the other side looks pretty good. It's hard to tell on these angles because you can see kind of like flux and junk in there too. But I believe that isn't a problem. I believe those are just, you know, flux and all that stuff, but nothing else. But those are looking great. I do see that bridge between those two. I'm going to try to inspect a couple more of these capacitors because some of these look like they could. Oh, that one actually looks like it may not be bridging as well. I see those balls, but I actually think those will come out when I just, you know, scrub a little bit here with some alcohol. They did last time when I did that. So let's see here. Let me try to zoom in on this side now. Same here. I see a giant ball, but when I look at the pads, they look like they're okay. Same here. I think these are actually. I think these are okay. I think I just need to clean up those solder balls. Now, I haven't used any extra flux with these. I just put the solder paste down, and I'm assuming there's flux carrier in there that I'm seeing around it. So I'm thinking that I'm going to stick with not going any extra solder paste, or I mean flux, but I'm not really sure about if I should be or not. But let's try to get this a little bit into focus here, see if we can inspect from this angle. Boy, getting this thing... There. It's a bit harder to tell at this kind of focal length what's going on. It helps seeing it close up. Like, let's take a look at this one a lot closer and see if we can get this in focus. Can we get it? Well, this is tough. I'm still learning the stereo microscope too. This is all new for me. So it's all a bit tough getting the focal lengths and things right, especially when you start kicking these boards on angles. Let's try to angle this a bit this way and pull this in. Well, I can't seem to pull anything in at this angle. Okay, there we go, but can we get it closer? I think we need to be farther out here. Okay, there we go. Now we got something. I'm trying to get in there really close and just inspect it. I want to really thoroughly inspect these before I move on here. I don't want to do the whole board and then decide that it wasn't effective. Again, from my perspective, it looks okay. I think that solder ball would come off of there. And here I'm going to tilt this a little bit this way to see kind of more direct on. There we go. Can we get closer now? There. It seems like that's... I don't know. What do you guys think in home view land? I don't know. That's looking pretty good to me. I mean, it's a little bit hard to tell. It's harder to tell on the microscope camera, but I think those are okay. I think those are just solder balls sitting there, and I think we're going to be okay. Oh, you were logged in through your phone, so you're Sonic Sandcastles as well. Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, so... I think they're okay. I'm a little bit thinking, I don't know whether I should be using a little extra flux with these or not. But I think for this board, I am going to say no and continue on because it looks like there is flux in the paste. So I don't want to underdo it, but I also don't want to overkill it. And I think they're going to pull in. I wish there was an effective way to test these. I definitely see the bridge on that one pin, but this one looks even better than my my tests. Okay, I think I'm going to try for these two next. I'm going to zoom out here, kind of get a broader viewpoint, maybe even broader. There we go, and then maybe focus this for you guys at home. Okay, there. That looks pretty good from my end. Let me see what it looks like there. Yeah, that looks pretty good on your end too. Okay. Clean it up a bit. I agree. I think I'm going to try to clean it and just run this one as is. So I'm going to heat this iron back up. I did increase, I don't know if you were here before, Jimmy, but I did increase my solder, my hot air station temperature. I kicked it up to, I think, I will see what it's set at. I think 440 or something, 430, 440 Fahrenheit, which I think is around 230 or something Celsius. But I increased it and it seems to work a little better. It's 430 degrees Fahrenheit. That seems to work better, much better. It's going way faster. My air did blow some of them around a bit, so number 4 might be a little high. I might pull this back to 3.5 for the airspeed, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'm just too close as well, could be a factor. But what's strange is definitely, maybe it's just because I'm new to it and it's standard, but the pace definitely bridges when you heat it, both pads, and then seems to pull back and kind of situate itself. I hope that is the way it's supposed to work. Because as it kind of gets to melting temperature, I definitely see the solder just kind of spread out all over the board. Okay, I'm assuming this one's going to take a while because I took quite a long while there inspecting in between solders. So I'm sure it's kind of having to thermally heat the board up a lot here. You can kind of smell it a bit now. But I think my temperatures are just about right now. It just feels that way because it did melt more efficiently. I don't know, but maybe they aren't right, and that's why I'm getting a lot of those kind of solder balls that I got on the last ones. I'm not sure about there. I see my capacitor moving around there on the bottom. Okay, we definitely are melting now. And I'm not sure how long I should be holding here. I kind of hold it for a few minutes and hope that it's kind of spreading out and kind of congealing or catching itself. Maybe I should stop right away. I'm not exactly sure. But I've been giving it a little extra time like this on each one after it kind of comes into place. Just to make sure everything melts. Okay, I'm going to move down to these two. Kind of just move back and forth and see if we can catch these two now. Hopefully the board's somewhat heated because of the other ones. I've definitely been doing a combo of looking through the viewfinder of the microscope and just looking at the board. Sometimes it's easier to just look at the boards. But it definitely helps to look through both, back and forth, see what's going on. I do see the pace speding out there. Like you can see on the left side, oh, you can barely see that on your end. Here, I'll move it up. You can see on the left side that it is like bridging right now. It's spread out all over the board. I mean, like both pads. But then it seems to, when it melts completely like it just did, it seems to be then kind of pooling back into place. On its pad. Okay, that one seems to be completely melting on the left now, which is good. Okay, there we go. See that guy going now too. Trying to give it a little extra heat and hoping that those little solder balls find a home, but maybe that's just the way, maybe they don't. Maybe they're just kind of, you know, they've formed that surface tension with the sphere and they're going to just kind of do their own thing now. They're not going to go anywhere. And I'm going to call that good and move over to these ones here in the middle because I think they have to be okay, so this one on the left already went. One on the middle. I'm blowing it around for sure. Oh no. I'm gonna have to kind of quickly see if I can get this guy back into position. Will it pull it in? So there you go. I don't know if I was too close there or There, at least that's on. Don't want to fool with it too much. Okay, I think I got that guy resettled. I'm going to move over and just do these 3 right here while we got our board preheated. Kind of don't want to stop now. I want to just keep moving. I see this one up here starting to go above. I'm going to back off my iron a bit so I don't blow it this time. Not figuratively or whatever, but for real. Come down and hope we get this guy. He's kind of to the side. This one seems to have melted up here, so I want to see if I can pull that in as much as I can. It seems okay. They are a little crooked, but I'm going to take that and say that's okay. Okay, this guy at the bottom seems okay now too. So I'm going to move here. These two. Well, I definitely got some solder out in the middle of the board there. Okay, that guy pulled right on, which is great. And this guy's starting to melt, blowing it around. It's moving and shifting around. I feel like I'm a sports commentator. Just like stating the obvious. Okay, he pulled right into shape there. This guy is moving around. There. I saw a pop there, so something definitely melted there. And that came in really well. I think those were done before the ones up above. Like I said, I'm giving it a little extra time, just, you know, hopefully if there's anything going on that it will go there. This guy I was hoping would come back into position, but it doesn't seem like it. And I'm reluctant to start poking at it because I think I will just make a mess. I'm going to move down to these guys now. I probably haven't put much. Is there? How about over here? No, I'm going to keep here. Okay, they're pulling right in. Okay, they already went. I think the board is just kind of properly heated now. Because they're going much faster now. These are looking good, I think. I pray. I don't know if you could see that actually. I was kind of off camera there probably. It's really difficult doing this stuff and streaming simultaneously, and kind of keeping track of everything is a real nightmare, actually. Yeah, it's a challenge, for sure. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go on this end. I think I kind of blew that back into position. It's really hard for me to tell with the solder paste. Ooh, I touched the board there. I don't know if I was, if I didn't bump anything else like these guys. I'm going to come over and do these guys now. Oh, okay. I'm going to try to blow. Okay, there, that guy came back. I can't tell whether those little solder balls that stay along there are just part of it, because I have done so little of this, or like, you know, maybe I'm not quite up to temperature or something. I'm not sure. My suspicion is I'm on the kind of lower side of temperatures, but I'm not exactly sure how this all goes. So. It's really kind of tricky to tell. I'm hoping that, yeah, because see there, I just, after keeping it on there for a while, I saw that kind of pop again, which I'm assuming is something underneath, you know, caught temperature and really melted into place there. Okay, let's try these guys. They seem like they're right on the cusp. Okay, they're going. Okay, let's do these two. Okay, I kind of blew that guy around, I think. Do these three. Okay, they're coming in quickly. Oh, I blew that guy out. Can I get him back? Okay, he came back. Great. See if I can catch this one on the bottom too. He seems a little cooler. I'm gonna try to keep heat on these guys to make sure that they melt really well. And then come down here. Okay, he's starting. There, I blew him back. Blow him that way. I think this might be it. I think these might be the last joints. Trying to keep this kind of over top and hopefully heat the capacitor, and it's doing what it needs to down below. Oh, this one I never pulled it. These two I never pulled in. So maybe these are the last two. Okay, you can see my thermal tape getting hot. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna inspect now because I think I hit them all. I want to quickly take a look and make sure I didn't miss any before I lose my board heat and have to like super heat the board again to get any done. Are those done? Yeah, I think I did those. I see flux. If I see the flux, I guess that means it's done. I think I did them all. All right, I think that's it. I think I hit them all. Great. Whew. Let's see, I see some comments here. What do we got? Yeah, around 300 Celsius. Okay. Yeah, that's. I checked the temperature profile, and it was like said 270 was the upper range, but then it was like 140 or 150 was the low range for melt temperatures. So I started kind of in the middle at 200, and then here, I'll turn on this one as well. I started in the middle around 200 because I think it was like one. Well, let's see. What's it say? 137 and 278. So, and I think I'm at like 230 now. So I'm kind of on the higher side of that, which is okay. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, 230. So you should probably be good. Yeah, I think I am. And then you're going to use a hot plate for the voice card. Yeah. Yeah, it does good uniform. Yeah, I thought about the hot plate too. But I already had the rework station, and you know, I had what I had, and I didn't want to keep endlessly spending on different equipment. So hopefully this will be good. Yeah. So that's done. I think what I need to do now here, I'm going to kill this because that's cooling down. I think what I need to do now is clean a couple of these and inspect. Or you know what I need to do is. I definitely need to do my iron, and I need to fix the bridge in those two pins. I know that's those are definitely bridged. So maybe I'll just do that now. If we have any kind of heat left in the board, maybe it'll help a little. So I'm going to switch. I had my chisel tip on there, and I'm going to switch over to the hoof tip with the reservoir on it. That has been working like extremely well for this. And I can't remember my temperatures for that though. I think I'm up way higher than that right now. Yeah, because that other solder melts at like 700 or something, so I want to make sure. Yeah, I have it set at 700. I think I was at 400. Maybe I'll do, I did 430, maybe I'll do the same. Okay, there, my hoof tip's coming along now. Let's get this all untangled. And we'll give that a whirl. And see if we can, I'm going to use some braid here. And see if we can't get that bridge out. Okay, I think I got it. Don't need a whole lot to get those out. I'm finding. Yeah, that's definitely out. I think I'm not touching a thing on that. That IC, it's a little tighter on your angle. Here, let me see if I can back this off some and get focus for you guys there. Maybe more. Oh no, I need to do that and that. Yeah, there we go. The IC, I think, is looking fantastic this time. That was a great, those look really uniform and quite nice. There might be a bridge between pin number 5. It's really hard for me to tell whether that's stuff or not. I'm going to leave it. Or maybe I should just touch it now. I don't know. I hate to, I'm reluctant to touch stuff if it... There. Okay, there. I kind of just pulled it up. I probably should have pulled it down, but I think that's fine. If there was a bridge, I think I got it. I'm leaving that. There's a little, it made a little peak headed towards the top of the IC, but that's okay. If there was any, I think I got it. So that one's done. Let's look at another one of these beside it. Yeah, those... Well, I think we looked at that already. Let's look at a couple of these others. They all seem similar. I see like the balls sitting on the sides, but the peaks on the actual parts actually look right now to me. I think they're okay. I think just some cleaning here is in order, and I think we're going to be okay. I think I'm going to try alcohol cleaning some of these. The only thing that would be a bummer is if there is like a solder ball sitting underneath that I can't see or something. But I don't know how, you know, that's you know how common that is. I would assume that's uncommon because it won't form a ball. I think it would just bridge. So I guess right underneath the capacitor for the pads are where I'm scared, but I'm assuming that it kind of draws back, and then just if I clean those balls up, it'll be okay. Yeah, the IC, thanks, Jimmy. The IC I think does look great. I'm exceedingly happy with how that IC turned out. There were a couple bridges, I think, at least one. That second one I'm not sure was one, but those look, I'm super happy with that. I think my temperature is about right. I could probably go even a little hotter, but I'm going to just leave it there for now. And now I think what I'm going to do is start a little alcohol cleanup. Maybe I'll start at this top edge and clean a couple of these up and see how this is looking. I think this is a little tilted or something. Let's try to tilt that way. I'm gonna pull this up a bit. There, that's super focused on my end. Let's see how it is on your end. I'm gonna kind of do this. What I'm doing is the diopters that I'm looking through on the scope have their focus, but there is a diopter on the bottom of the camera up here. If you can see the little thing down there that I have to focus for the camera. And I tried to get one that was kind of 1-to-1 and it's close, but it's not exact. Like the field of view is a little tighter on the camera. So sometimes I'm seeing a much wider field of view through the viewfinder. And yeah, so there you go. So let's see here. Let's take this guy. Let's do a little alcohol cleaning with this PEC pad and these guys and see. Now I'm wondering, like those balls, like it's in there. Am I going to be able to get that off? I don't know. That seems like it's like really in there, like it's not going anywhere. That seems less than ideal, like all these guys do. Okay, I kind of got that one like scrubbing it. I think I might have to take either I might have to take tweezers or something, or a dental pick or something. I have some dental picks around here, and that may be necessary to kind of get that going. Oh, the PEC pad is awesome. I'm glad I thought of it. I was sitting there today and I was like, wait a second. I have some PEC pads that I used for my camera sensors when I cleaned my Nikon SLR, and I looked in the bag and sure enough there was some in there. Okay, there we go. I kind of just scooped that out. And here, I want to make sure I get that completely off. So, I don't know how common it is to have these little solder balls like this. I wish I had, maybe I'll ask somebody on the Kijimi build group to kind of take a look at this video or something and see how common it is to have these little solder balls, and if there is a solution to kind of get rid of those through the process. Or I mean, I feel a lot of gunk here, so I definitely know that it needs more cleaning. So it's throwing a little out of focus here as I'm kind of manhandling the board. It's tilting it, but I'm really curious whether this is just purely like a cleanup thing, or how common this is. Ooh, I kind of scratched the board there. Don't want to do that. Be really careful about that. But I think this is just going to take quite a lot of cleaning in the long run to get all this off and nice and cleaned up. But hopefully, once I kind of clean these really thoroughly a bunch of times, I'll be able to see and really tell whether they're bridging or not. These already look like 1,000% better, and just kind of inspecting these from this way, I think doing what I'm doing, just kind of scraping a ball off here or there and just keep scrubbing this already looks like, these look like almost perfect to me. Let's do a little inspection now and go on the angle here and see if we can get this in focus. There we go. Let's get even closer. I don't know about you, but that looks pretty damn clean to me. Let's see if we can get this side in. I do see a little of the balls there. See what I'm saying on that side? Boy, that looks clean though. That looks really clean, right? I mean, is it me? I don't know. I think those look clean. I do see a couple little solder balls there. I don't know common that is, or if that's something to worry about or not. But that doesn't seem like a big issue to me. I mean, it's definitely not bridging anywhere. I'm trying to find the one I'm working on there. Add a little. I don't really think those are an issue. My only question with that is perhaps that is what do I want to say? Perhaps that is uncooked solder, so to speak. Maybe it didn't completely melt properly. So that's the only question I would have is perhaps I'm running just slightly too low of temperature. Maybe next time I'll try just slightly higher, go up to like, 10 to 20 degrees or something, and see if that affects the outcome. Because otherwise, I think these look really good now. I guess that's my only concern now, is just yeah, I think these look great. And those look really clean to me, actually. Those two. I think I'm just really going to have to take my time and just really sit here and thoroughly just clean and re-clean each one and just inspect it visually. Like, absolutely. Like, see, I see a lot of balls there. That's a problem. I don't know what's causing all those. That can't be good. So my guess is that either I'm too low temperature. Maybe that's just part of the process. I don't know. It comes right off. Maybe it's just part of what happens and you got to clean that off. But I have definitely seen videos online where people were doing this and they did not have that many kind of solder ball residue like this. So I'm really not sure what that's all about. I mean, I can tell that it's definitely coming off. They're stuck with a lot of flux and stuff. So as I keep cleaning, I know it's all going to come off. But I feel like you could, not have to clean it that much, basically, and have it a lot tighter in the end. There is one there, but I think that's kind of part of the edge. I'm not going to mess with that one. Maybe I can go on this edge a little bit, or this edge. Boy, the stereo microscope is golden for this stuff. See, like this one. There's quite a lot of solder balls across there. I know if I keep doing this, and especially if I use the tweezers, they come right off. But it seems to me that that's some kind of mistake on my part, that I shouldn't have to be going here manually and kind of digging solder balls out of there. It seems weird. I mean, I know like that's a ton of flux right there. And I know that we need to get that stuff off. And maybe it's just, again, a matter of hitting this thing over and over, and then it would, with alcohol, and then it would all kind of come off. But I just can't imagine that's standard process to have kind of this much gunk residue of solder balls on there. I mean, it is coming off, and when it does, again, I keep saying the same things, I guess, but it does seem like it's quite clean once it comes off. But again, I feel like that shouldn't be happening. The only thing that worries me is maybe there's a ball like that underneath the joint. But I don't know. Like, I see a couple over here, little balls. The only other thing that worries me too is those things float around and then bridge on something else eventually, or dry up over time and then come off, and who knows. Okay, let's move over here to these two. Again, it's consistent. I am getting like a couple big ones. Is at least one or two or more, a bunch of little ones, or some big ones on each grouping. It's quite visible through the camera too. Here, I think you guys are out of focus a little bit on your end. Let's see if I can pull that in. It's not too bad. Let's try fooling with this a little bit. Gets a little too dark on your end. There we go. That's not too bad. It looks pretty good. But you can see the balls again. Like that one's quite big. Ooh, I think I broke some of the capacitor. I think it was actually attached. Hope that's not a huge issue. Let's see. Oh no, it's kind of like, I don't know what that is. Guess that's flux? It's hard to tell. I actually don't think I was, I thought for a second I was like, I had pulled apart the capacitor, but I don't think that's the case. I think it was flux residue. It was quite hard. It did look very pine sap kind of oriented. I know a lot of, I know flux traditionally is some kind of like sap type substance. I mean, these are, like I said, they look like with a little work like this, they're coming quite clean. But God, this is a lot of work for every single capacitor on this board, doing this 38 times every time. I mean, I'm going to definitely do it and clean these up, but this is quite a lot of tedious work. There, let's see if I can get you in focus a little more on your end. There, that looks good. But those look good. I mean, I think they, after a little cleanup, they look quite good, and I don't think they're bridging. But there is a lot of gunk residue. So I don't know what that's a factor of. I just feel like I shouldn't be getting like this. There's like a sea of little balls there. Solder balls, and it just feels weird. Maybe that's just part of it, but it doesn't seem like that should be the case. Okay, this I don't know, maybe it would be helpful to maybe it would be helpful to what do I want to say? Maybe it would be helpful to put a little flux on when I solder. I don't know. These are the intricacies that I wish somebody out there who has experience could kind of enlighten me how to refine this. I mean, I know I'm in the ballpark, but it feels like I could definitely refine from here. And other than just trial and error now, I have no idea what that refinement is like logically. It's looking great. I don't know if you're still out there, Jimmy, but do you have a hot plate? No, not hot plate. I know you said you're doing a hot plate. I meant, do you have a microscope? Are you gonna do this with like a visor loop kind of thing like I have, or you have some kind of magnification, or like one of those, things you strap to your desk? I almost went that route. I tried a bunch of stuff before I eventually just said, I'm going with the microscope. And I'm glad I did. I'm just curious. I mean, they all work. I was using the visor, and I did that for the whole first series, and that was okay. First series of boards, Got a little fuzz in there. Trying to keep all this stuff as clean as I can. Yeah, those balls do not seem correct. I feel like I need to sort that out. That is definitely not what we want happening. I mean, at least it seems like it's not the end of the world, and all I gotta do is sit here and scrape these out tediously. But I feel like we want to prevent that in the future if at all possible. I'm not sure what that looks like exactly. I'm definitely going to ask on the build forum. Let's see if I can get some good opinions. Okay, it's looking really clean though. I mean, once I spend the time and clean them up, I mean they look fine. I think they look great. It just takes some time to work through each capacitor now. Each one definitely has a few balls on it. I still see one on this right side. Guess chat's kind of in the way there. Okay, got that one. Okay, let's look okay. A little more alcohol here. I think it's definitely just alcohol takes a while to break through the flux, but it's just scrub, rinse, repeat, scrub, rinse, repeat, scrub, rinse, repeat. Yeah, I definitely know that my next, God, this standing is killing me. I need like something to set on this chair. I wish I had a high chair. Well, maybe I could stick these pillows under there. My back is killing me. Standing here like that. Woo! Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Will this work? I really hope so. Because that is just, oh God, thank God. I think that's going to work. Okay, I'm going to push those up. Put another one on here. Oh my God. It feels super wonky, but that is a super lifesaver. I see I am scratching the surface of the board a little bit and exposing copper here and there. That's not ideal for sure. I think I'm going to try to be much more careful about that. I don't want to cause myself any other issues down the road. Ooh. This focal length seems just a bit too far away. I'm going to try that one. Not bad. Not bad on your end. Let's see if we can get a little more. Oh, that's nice. That's not bad. I do see the balls in there, though. I'll try to go ahead and do a little precision scraping now. Okay, there, got those. I am sometimes scraping the board though, which I'm worried about. But I am able to kind of break through this flux and get it. But I also do see, like I said, sometimes I am, you know, just barely scraping the circuit board and exposing a little copper. I don't think that's a huge deal, but obviously it's not ideal. I would say the PEC pad is a must after using the just paper towel. You don't want to do that. Still get a stray fiber like I just saw every once in a while from the PEC pad, but overall not bad at all. Okay, see, like those are looking super clean again. It just takes a couple minutes, you know, scrape the balls out, but then I do end up having a really clean joint after that. It's hard to tell. Maybe I'll try to turn it on side, but those look perfect. They don't look bridged through the viewfinder. It's a little darker on your end than my end. Maybe somebody said something here. An LED circle on an articulating arm. Yep, that's what, yeah, I have a visor too, but I like the articulating arm better. Yeah, that's the one thing that I actually haven't gotten that I would like to try at some point is the kind of articulating arm with the big magnifier with the LEDs. That's good. I don't know how many times that magnifier is. Do you know how many, what's the times magnification? I would recommend having it quite strong. I mean, you said you did a lot of these things anyway, so I'm sure you have whatever you need. But I did find that with the head loop, I think it's max. I think I have it. It only does like 4 times or something, and 4 times was just not enough for me. It was. I mean, my eyes are getting bad. It used to be just fine for me, but now definitely 4 times was just not cutting the mustard for me. That's why I just finally went with the scope. I bought my scope from AmScope, but I think if I had, you know, looked around a little more and been a little more patient, I could have bought it on AliExpress for quite a bit cheaper. I mean, I don't regret doing AmScope. Good enough. And it was in the States, and, you know, I wanted it, and quickly, and they just, you know, they're kind of good. They just did it quick, got it out, all that stuff. So it's not bad. I think you could get just about the same exact scope, probably for a little less. But then you're in the AliExpress, you know, lane of waiting a month or more. But you could probably get it for like, I don't know, a scope you could probably get for $200 or $300 on AliExpress. I think I paid maybe 400 or more. I think it was more. Actually, Amscope was kind of quite expensive. But again, at the time, it made more sense than doing a lot of other stuff. I needed it to work then, and I just got it, so it was okay. But if you were patient and have a lot of time, a month or more or whatever to ship it, I'm sure you could go AliExpress and get these quite a bit cheaper. I still see maybe one little ball right there. Can't tell whether that's a... I think that's where I scraped the copper there. Okay. Okay, that one looks not too bad. There's a little gunk. Give it one more shot of the alcohol. And I just keep reusing the same swab. I don't know, it's probably not a great idea, but I just don't feel like it's that much benefit to change the swabs all that often. Like these, you can see there's quite some big solder balls on these guys. This one, boy, your field of view now at this magnification, it really can only fit one on here. On my screen, you could fit 2 or 3. That's why it gets tricky. I'm trying to get these really close and show you. Obviously, the closer I get, it's kind of harder to keep stuff open for you guys. I mean, like, to see it all, what's going on. Sometimes get disjointed and maybe you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah. A lot of these little solder balls. Again, my suspicion is that maybe I'm not up to temperature. I could maybe go a little higher or something to completely liquefy those. But maybe that's just the nature again of how this all goes. Just don't have enough experience yet, and also using, different formulas. I do know that I think it was the flux that I got, that Amtech flux, that was on the expensive side, I think. I'm not sure about the solder pastes. But these look good. Like after I clean them here, I really can't see much. Like looks like maybe there's a little gunk under there, but I think that's just flux. Like these look really nice and clean. It's just like look at those big. You see, there's big, one on each side. This is 2 big solder balls, and they seem to be kind of lodged in flux residue. So I'm reluctant. I don't think I need more. I think more flux is not the answer, because it seems like I got plenty of flux on there through the paste, and it is bonding well. I'm just getting that residue. So that's going to be my #1 question now, is to figure out how to reduce that if I can. If I can't, whatever. As long as it's working, that's fine with me. But boy, I do have to say, having the microscope is a really good savior for just inspection wise. To be able to see what you've done extremely close up and really know whether anything's bridging or what have you. Because even with my head loop, I don't even know if I'd be able to really perceive the solder balls this cleanly. So I'm really loving having the scope around. I think after I've done this now, that'd be my #1 recommendation. Maybe you have a really high-end magnifier that's really bright and what have you. I mean, not bright, high magnification, which is great. So maybe you don't need it. but I definitely love the scope, and I don't think I would ever go back now, especially doing anything surface mount. It's just, you know, it is just a huge cost though. Huge investment, unless you're going to do a lot of this stuff. I mean, that's why I also got it, is because I just know I'm always building stuff, so this is going to be kind of a continual, ongoing thing for me. I know it. I actually hope to, you know, be able to build. Actually, you know, I would love to build, if I could get the funds, all of the Black Corporation polysynths. I mean, I would love to just keep building these. I can't also wait just not to build it, but to start using this thing now. Super stoked for that too. Okay, it's going somewhat. This board thing, it gets tilted and it throws it out of focus. Ooh, still got that on my tip, I think. I'm trying to get rid of those. As soon as I do a scrape, I'm trying to like get rid of those balls, and so they're not circulating around on the board. I see this pad is kind of coming apart, but it really isn't leaving any real residue or anything yet, so I think I'm going to keep using it. I think I've been kind of stingy on my alcohol. I think I'm going to do much more like this. Okay, I do see some balls on the right side. Not sure if you're seeing that on your end. There's one on the end here. Oh no, that's the pad. Definitely see one here. Okay, I got that. Did I get it? Most of it if I didn't get it. Okay, there. Okay. Again, looking quite good to me. I mean, I don't see any obvious bridges or any signs of anything. Those look actually really good. The only thing that could be happening is, again, maybe there's something underneath that I'm not seeing. Did I get these? I think I got all these. How about this middle one? No, I didn't hit this one yet. See, that's a pretty easy one to see those balls. I think you could see it pretty well on your end. Yeah, here, let's get in here. There's one right there. Boom. It's definitely kind of lodged in the flux. I don't know. Maybe this is just the way this stuff rolls, or maybe it's the formulation I have too. Definitely be all of those things. I am going to take a break here. Maybe I think I'm going to try to complete this board clean up, and then I'm going to be done for today. I'm going to try to get outside and go for either a hike or a run while it's a little bit warmer. It's like in the mid 30s here, a little bit chilly, but I have been enjoying getting outside. and doing a little exercise. So I think I'm going to do that in a bit. Okay, here's two I definitely haven't done. Try the other side. I do see a lot of balls again. There, can I focus it on your end? Okay, maybe that's better. You can kind of see there what's going on. It gets tougher, the higher magnification I go, it gets tougher to keep it obviously in focus for you guys too. The whole camera setup thing was a whole nother kind of nightmare adventure. The whole streaming thing is kind of a crazy adventure, to figure out how to set up all this stuff, especially with multiple cameras like I'm running and everything. It's quite complicated and difficult really quickly. The microscope camera was not a fun adventure either. I mean, I had to do a ton of research and getting it's a 4K camera. I think I have 2K. It's either 2 or 4. I can't remember. But that was really hard to source. Most of the cameras are 1080p. I did get this one through AliExpress, but I think it was a US place that had it in stock, which was great. So it came rather quickly. But it was really, really difficult figuring out the right one to get and the right... What was also really tough was figuring out the diopters on here. If anyone wants to know more about that, just let me know and I can do a video on the diopters and all that stuff and that kind of tech setup. There we go. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I am nicking the solder mask, like over here on this side. You can see I see a little copper. I hope I'm not like doing anything really bad there, like breaking a trace or something, because it is right next to that trace. But I think I'm okay. Seems like it's just in like in the surface of the paint. So I'm hoping I'm okay. I mean, maybe what I'll do is, you know, test from here to here or something too. Start doing some kind of continuity test that way. I mean, I would love a suggestion if anyone else has an idea of how to test the continuity for these guys. Definitely have some kind of junk on it. Okay, I think I'm reaching the lifespan of this first Q-tip. This side's better than the other side, but they are slowly getting kind of torn apart there. See a lot of balls again. And there's something I could be using rather than these super sharp tweezers. Make this a bit of a safer prospect. But it does seem to be working pretty well. And at least so far, it doesn't appear to me that we're damaging the boards. I mean, I did see little nicks here and there, but I don't think it's like anything major. There we go. Those look great. Again, I don't know, from just visual inspection, those look like really legit solders. So, I guess I'm just hoping they are. But again, every single joint that I come to, I am seeing the solder balls around it. So they are definitely there. I'm not sure what the deal is. And I am ever so gently nicking at least the paint or like the stencil on the boards. It does worry me a little bit. I don't want to do too much of that. I don't think I'm doing any damage though, like I said. But it's not ideal. Maybe I can start using the sides like this a little better as the tips wear out. Okay. That one also looks pretty good. I'm gonna give it one more shot. Trying to get kind of the side edges underneath where all that flux seems to coagulate. And I definitely do see a little ring on the board. There, that looks a lot cleaner. Not bad. Let's move around. What's that? It's the one we just did? Yeah. I think we haven't done these ones down this way. My God, I feel like I'm going to be here for the next 3 hours. I might be here till dark doing this. Might have to quit before I finish this board. I don't know. I'm kind of happy with myself. I feel like I got them all on pretty darn straight, which I'm pretty amazed by. Like the one below here is a little crooked. I think it's one of the only ones that I got a little crooked on. So I am kind of stoked about that. That I was able to do everything relatively straight. This one was the only one that, maybe there was one more I think that was a little crooked. For the most part, I think I got them pretty straight. Actually, this whole board cleanup is kind of a little bit zen here. This isn't a bad job. Wouldn't say it's relaxing, but it's a whole lot less stressful than the whole soldering process itself. I have to say that I am loving the kind of surface rework stuff. I'm a fan of the hot air, definitely. It is just it's just so maybe it's just because it's new, but I like the process. It just seems a lot easier. Tweezering everything into place, I think, is actually the most stressful part. For me anyway, especially after being Mr. Jitter after drinking coffee and tea and stuff. I shouldn't have done that. Note to self, I think next mornings I'll maybe get up and, I can't skip coffee, but maybe I'll wait a few hours after I have the coffee and then do the soldering. That's just what I don't want to happen, like to go down into a hole somewhere and lodge and cause some kind of weird. Boy, that ball just did not want to come. Maybe I should be may have jumped the gun in. What do I want to say? I might want to make sure that I really let the alcohol sit on here and scrub a little longer before picking. Because that time I felt like I was pressing my luck with scraping the board or something. I can't tell if anyone wrote on chat or not. I'm going to check it in here in just a second. Good time for a little break. Oh, your magnifying arm is 5 times magnification. Ooh, I think you'll be pretty good. 5 times would be better, but I think you're, unless you have really good eyes, I think you're going to be pushing it. I think it'll be okay, though. I would go higher temp. Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm being conservative because I don't want to overheat things. But I actually think I'm definitely going to go higher temperature next time. I am going to ask around on the build forum too, and ask specifically about that symptom of having little solder balls around the edges. But I think I'm with you. I think temperature may help as well. I don't know what that is. If you have a suggestion, I think I was doing, what did I say? Let me pull this off. I have it set at 430. I'm not sure where I would go from there, from 430. Maybe just go 450. I don't know if even that is, I don't know. If you have a suggestion, I'm at 430 now, 430. I think those are at Fahrenheit. Be curious what you'd go. I could just go to the top end, which is 470, but I think that was their limit, and that was for the flux. I think the pace might have been even a little bit lower. See another little ball right there. Trying to just get the first things first, just get it wet and get those balls off, and then I go from there. And then it's really just scrubbing until all the flux is gone. I think I need to flush with this alcohol a lot more often. Just douse it like this really good. Peck pat it, douse it, peck pat it, douse it, peck pat it. I think it's going to make the process. I think I'm just, moving the flux around in circles too much and just rubbing it back in and not really taking it off. See how that looks. There's still a little on the edges. Where I try to get in and kind of scrub it real good. Not bad. I don't think I've done these two on the edge. Nope. I don't know if you can see on your end there, but there are quite a few solder balls there. I'm trying to see if I can get that in focus better. I can just do an individual. See that? Boy, I don't know why, but on your end, the contrast range is just not there. It just looks very dark. Oh, there, that helps a lot. Keep it up like that for the camera view. But definitely the camera loses that contrast range. I mean, which makes sense. Not your eyes, which are way more sensitive. But those are what I'm getting out of there, all these little balls. The good thing, like I said though, is that those balls are coming right out. If I just scrub around like this, you know, a couple pokes of the strategic pokes and not being too rough, and they're coming right off. And I seem to be kind of accelerating, getting the breaking through the flux to get that off. The only thing I'm worried about, like I said, I keep repeating myself, but I am worried about scratching the boards, you know, going through the stencil mask and getting in it, you know, severing some kind of trace like one of these traces here. But I don't think I am. If I am, I think I'm just scratching it off a little bit, like the surface mask, but I really don't think I'm doing any damage to traces or anything. And that looks pretty good too. I'm going to leave that one as is. I'm going to move up to the IC now and clean this guy off. I'm going to back off on the magnification here because you guys definitely cannot see that. There. I think I'm going to do the IC and the one next to it. Boy, you still can't see that. Here, let me get off to there. Wow, it's still really not in. I have a huge, much broader field of view on the camera or on the microscope. See if I can get that on focus on my side. And then I'll get you in on your side in a second. Okay, that's looking good here. It's looking pretty good for you guys too. That's even better. Good. I think I'm going to switch up Q-tips now. Okay. There's two. The one's kind of off screen for you. It's up to the left there. I'm going to go ahead and give this the, oops. Stubborn one in there. Okay, I think I got it all. Let's just douse this thing again. I'm just going to keep kind of really super dousing with alcohol. Okay, go another round of alcohol. Okay, I do see a little ball right here. God, I hope they're not like a city of those underneath the IC. Definitely could be. Kind of terrifies me. Really know how well I need to clean this stuff. Just really gonna douse this IC over and over here, and hopefully really get much of the flux and stuff off of it as I can. Do you see a little something between, what pin was that? Yeah, there. Oh, look, you can see right on angle. That's nice. Something in there? I hope those aren't solder balls. It's really tough to tell. It's just flux. And I don't know if it's good to get this stuff out of here or if I should be better off just to leave it or... No, but it seems like that's just flux, which is a good thing. I don't think I detected any solder balls in there. If I can get this in focus. Oh, there we go. Looks quite good. It's a little more out of focus on your end. If I can pull that in at all. There, looks good though. Okay, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That looks super clean to me in terms of the board still has some flux on it. I'm going to keep going at the alcohol, but the pins look legit. They look done. Thank God I had the pec pad around. Okay, look at that. Here, let's try to get that a little better for you guys. Boy, that looks clean. Okay, now I just want to check each of the resistors. I'm sure I missed some. I think I finished those. Let's go across the top here. Those look finished. Down, these two look finished. Those? No. I think we did. Those look finished. These do not look finished. Or do they? No, they seem like they have some still flux on those for sure. And I see a solder ball. I'm going to try to stay a little zoomed out. It's a little harder to see what's going on. But I think I can do it at this magnification. Okay, I think I got that. These were definitely not done. I can... This one's a little crooked too. Bottom left one, bottom one. But not bad. Overall, I've been kind of amazed by how well the whole process goes with this. I thought it would be more challenging. I mean, maybe it is, and I'm gonna be crying later when I have a bunch of bridges somewhere, but it doesn't feel like that right now. And just from all my other soldering experience, this seems, I think I'm in the ballpark for sure. Okay, those two look good. Those two look finished. Those two are finished. These four look finished. How about these two? Yep, those look finished. Ooh, there's some gunk there. Still residuals on the board. Oops. Threw us way out of focus. Okay. Those look done. Those look done. Those look done. Done, 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 done. I finished them all? I think I might have. Up to the top here again. Yeah, I think we finished them. I think that's it. Yeah, I think we're done. Okay, I'm going to come back to here. And oh, I know what I want to do before I get off here. So I'm going to do one more thing before I get off, and that is take this guy, and I'll show you on the screen real quick. Here, I'm going to turn off my irons. Ooh, I had my iron on that whole time. I'm going to show you up here. Let me focus this. There we go. I'm going to show you, where is it, main cam, this guy. So I can't remember who posted this on the Kijimi build forum, but thank you. Thank you, sir. This is the continuity test for the IC. And I'm going to just follow that basically now. And see where this gets us. So I'm going to grab my multimeter here. And kind of a cutoff head. And we are going to test this guy out on the microscope here. Maybe I can get even a broader field of view here on the microscope board. Oh boy, wrong things. There we go. Can I get out even further? There. Yeah. Let's try to get you guys the most focus we can. That looks about right. Okay, so let's try to test this guy out for continuity now. Yeah, let's see. So I'm going to turn this guy to continuity and switch over to there. Yeah, it seems to be going. Okay, so now let's see. First, let's see. First, I'm going to try these caps. Ooh, that's not good, right? Shouldn't I be getting continuity there? Maybe not. How do we test this? Or maybe it's good that we're not getting continuity. Maybe that's how we test. Because I'm doing both sides of the cap, but I'm not getting continuity. If I do there to there. Oh, there I did. So it's definitely tracing from pin 1 to the cap. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe that's how you test then. If I do each side of the cap and I don't get a beep, maybe that's a good thing. Okay, so let's do, I don't know about that. We'll have to revisit that. But for right now, I'm going to do the IC. So let's see. Number 1 is down here at the bottom. Yep. Number 2 is right below it. I wasn't testing the ones beside it, but I'm going to now. 2. Let's see, where's number 3? I can't even find it. Number 3 is way over here. I think it's this hole down here. I think this is all still in for you. Number 4, no. Number 2, no. Number 1, no. But number 3, yes. Okay, 3's good. 4 is down here. It's off the screen for you, but it is on there. Yep. 3, 2, 1, nothing. Number 5, nothing. But number 4, yes. Okay, 4. 5 is over here to the left. I think that's on screen for you. Okay, 1, 2, nothing, 3, nothing, 4, nothing. 5, yes, 6, nothing else. Okay, great. 6 and 9 are together. Down here off the screen, you can't see it, but let's try 6. Yep. 5, no. Nothing else. Oh, wait. And 9. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. And 6. So 9 and 6 were together. 7 and 8 are together, and they're over here. I think it's off the screen for you, but there's 7, no 6, no 5. Oh, 7, 8. Yeah, I see they're bridged here too. 7 and 8. No 9, no 10. Good. Where's 9? Oh, we already did 9. Now we're going to 10. Where is 10? I don't see it. Did they forget 10 on here? Or am I blind? Probably blind. I don't see number 10, which is weird. We can come back to that. Unless my printer cut it off or something. Or maybe I could manually trace 10. I see it, but I don't see it going. It's this one. Maybe it's not connected to anything. I don't know. So 11 is this side of the cap, though. Okay, wait. So 10, wait. This was 10. I don't know where the heck 10 is going to. This is a via. Can I catch it through a via? No. Maybe we can't test 10. I don't know. I don't see that on a sheet unless it's cut off. I'm going to have to look at the image again on the net. But 12, no. 11, yes. Yep. Okay. 12. Where's 12? 12 is this hole up here. I'm not sure if that's in cam. It is. Just in. Okay, yeah. 11, no. 13, no. 12, 13 is down here. Really close. And you can see the trace. Where's 14? Up. On 13, I didn't really test the ones around it, did I? Okay, that's definitely connecting. No 13, no 12, no 11, no 15. But 14, yep. 15 is up above. Up here, I think it might be off the camera for you. Did I get the right one? No, it's this one. Okay, no 14, no 16. 16 is up here. I think it's just off cam for you. Yep, getting 16, no 15, no 17. 17 is over here. No 16, no 18, but we got 17. 18 is over here. Got that. No 17 or 19. 19 is over here. Correct. No 18, no 20. I think 20 is on this capacitor. Yep, we got that. Okay, so that looks good. The only weird one is 10, unless 10 is just a non-connect, which seems weird, but maybe it's a non-connect. I don't know. Have to search on that, or maybe like on my printout, the printer cut off an edge or something and I can't see it. Because it looks like 10 to me. Can I trace it? No, I can't see any. I can't see where that's going. It looks like it's not going anywhere to me, but maybe it's, going through a via or something. I don't know, to the other side. Who knows? But that, okay. So I think we're good there, though. Those look good. Again, I'm going to have to check, but maybe the continuity test for the caps then is to just touch each side. And if you don't hear a sound, it's a good thing. Because if I do these, I'm not getting continuity. And it could be because the capacitor in between does something. I don't know what's going on there. But maybe if you do get a beep, it's a bad thing, because then it means that you're bridged. underneath. So that could be a way to check all the capacitors. And I think I will end up doing that and do all of these, at least this way initially. And then I'm definitely going to ask on the build form as well if that's a way to check these. All right. So I would say that was a overall a resounding success because it looks like it worked. Hallelujah. Okay, let's switch back over here. Get rid of these pillows. My booster pillows. All right, and then we can come back to cam 1 and come back up here. All right. So, oh, I see some other things. I would go higher temp. It says, Jimmy says from Google, capacitors should not have continuity. Okay, and mine didn't. When testing the capacitor using the continuity function of a multimeter, you might get intermittent beeping due to capacitor charging and discharging. I didn't get that. Note that this does not indicate that the capacitor has continuity. If there is a constant beeping, that shows that there is continuity to the capacitor, which means they're faulty. That it is faulty. Okay, so thank you so much for that, Jimmy. You saved me some research time there. Awesome. Okay, so what it indicates to me that it is what I thought then. That's what I was just doing. When I'm touching each end of the capacitor, if you don't get a beep, or you got, I guess, the intermittent beeping, it means the capacitor's charging or whatever, or that there's just no continuity, which is a good thing. Because I guess if it's bridging underneath, we'd get continuity and it would beep. Or it means that we got continuity. I guess it's a test for the capacitor being, a bad part. So I will go over off cam and touch each capacitor again and make sure that I don't get a continuity beep between any of them. And then I'll know. All like 10 or a handful that I did, it seemed like that none of them had continuity, which was great. So that's it. So we just need to make sure you don't get beeps there and that you do the test for the IC. But that was relative. I have to say, fingers crossed for the other boards, that was relatively straightforward. That wasn't a super challenging. It's just getting those temperatures right. Again, I think the higher temp may be the solution to get less solder balling. Maybe I should add extra flux. Those are my two questions. I think I'm going to post that on the build forum as well. But otherwise, I think that went exceedingly well. I had like one bridge, maybe two in the IC as usual, and kind of just a couple touches of the hoof tip, cleaned it right up. But that's it. So that's my first voice card. All the kind of super challenging stuff is done. I'm thinking tomorrow then I'll do a flip-flop and start doing all the surface mount stuff and really just take my time, maybe do some inventory tonight and kind of lay it out, get all my parts out in a row. And then I'll go ahead and finish off the front side. And then so if I finish that tomorrow, maybe the next day, I can, maybe what is that, Thursday or something, I can start to finish one. And then I can start thinking about assembling and then maybe doing start going through the firmware and doing testing and all that stuff. I don't know. Maybe not firmware, maybe more like testing the power board and, doing whatever, get some advice on the build form of which to test in what order, and then start thinking about assembling and testing one full voice card, see if it'll calibrate and all those things. All right, I'm going to leave it here. That was great. And it's even my 3D print finished. I have just the bottom plate to finish off my fourth one. Probably finish that tonight as well. All right. Take care, everyone out there. Be safe, and I will see everyone on the flip side again. So long.